We're having fun today, and I'm showing you how to create talking baby clips of yourself from moments inside your podcast. There's different ways to do this, but this is the fastest method you'll find. So here's an example of what you'll learn to make.
Well, that sounds like a fun thing to just drive around and go to people's restaurants and see how they do things and see the history behind it and what was their dream.
Right, so to create your own baby clip like that, first you need to find the podcast moment that you're going to use. To make that clip you just saw, I used a moment from this Joe Rogan podcast episode by simply just pressing this share button here and grabbing the link. So you can just grab the YouTube link to your own podcast episode now. And next, once we've found the podcast episode we're going to use this tool here, Opus Clip. And using this tool is what speeds up the whole process and makes it the fastest way of making these baby videos. If we look here, Opus Clip lets you add a long video into it, and then it will find the best moment from inside that long video that could potentially go viral. So we're going to add our podcast episode into this tool to get told the best moments to use that baby effect on. There's a free trial to Opus Clip. The link is in the description to this video. And once you're logged in, you can either drop in the link to that YouTube video in this box here, or you can simply upload your podcast episode with this button. So I'll just pop in that Joe Rogan episode here. And now Opus Clip is going to process that episode. And we can see now from the change that Opus Clip has added that episode into itself. Now we just scroll down, tell Opus Clip that it's a podcast that we've added into it, tell it how long we want our clips to be. I think this effect works best on clips that are less than 30 seconds, so I'm going to choose that. And then finally, we just need to choose a subtitle template for Opus Clip to use. If we scroll through, we can see these templates here. And basically, Opus Clip adds these subtitles to any clips that it makes for us. So I like this style of subtitles. I want it to be added to my baby clip. So I'll click that. And then I'm just going to choose whether I want this to be a vertical or horizontal clip. So like a TikTok and YouTube Shorts clip, or a standard YouTube video clip. I want the baby clip I make to be a wide video, so I'm going to click this 16:9 resolution here. And then it's as simple as that. Now we just press this button up here, get clips in one click, and this AI is going to find the best moments in this podcast episode that we can consider turning into baby clips. So let's click this button here now, get clips in one click, to let the AI do its thing. Next, you'll see this screen after Opus Clip has taken like a few minutes to study that podcast episode and find the best moments. And if we scroll through, we can see that the AI has given us a ton of great moments from our podcast episode that we could turn into that talking baby effect. So I've already found a moment I want to use. I'm going to scroll up and show it you. It's this one here. Let's just press play and we can give this a quick watch.
Well, that sounds like a fun thing to just drive around and go to people's restaurants and see how they do things and see the history behind it and what was their dream.
And the next step is creating a baby image of the podcaster. So to do this, we need to head over to ChatGPT, which you're seeing now, because ChatGPT can change our adult into a baby. Here's how you do that. First, you make a screenshot image from that podcast moment that you've just downloaded from Opus Clip, and you're going to add that image into ChatGPT by using this button here. So you can see here, I've added a screenshot image from that podcast moment. And now we are going to type in our prompt to get our baby image. We're going to start by pressing this button here. And it's really important now to type in this prompt exactly as I do, because this can go wrong if you don't use the exact same wording. So here's what we're going to type. We've already got create image added because we pressed this button here. And we're going to type in ourselves, create an image of this exact image in a 16:9 resolution. Remember, I'm making a wide video resolution here, so I want a 16:9 resolution, but change the person into a baby. So what this is going to do is it's going to keep the exact studio, the exact podcast setup you've got in the image, and the only thing it's going to do is change the person into a baby. Then you just need to press this button here to get your image. And that will just take a minute or two here to load. You'll just see in ChatGPT doing its thing and this loading screen here. And once this is finished, you'll have your podcaster turned into a baby. And after a few minutes, you can see here ChatGPT has given us back this image, same podcast studio, same setup, but in the middle, we've got Joe Rogan, who has now been turned into a baby. You might notice that it messed up the Joe Rogan text on this sign at the back here. It's added a second E into the name Joe. So I just had to ask ChatGPT to remove the second E from the word Joe to try and fix that mistake of there being two E's in the sign behind the baby. The first time, it accidentally removed both of the E's from the Joe Rogan wording behind the baby. So I then had to go back to ChatGPT and be really clear what I wanted. I want the E added back to the end of Joe, but make sure not to add two E's in this time. And after a bit of back and forwards with ChatGPT, we can see how I just click this to make this bigger. I got my perfect sign behind the baby with our baby Joe Rogan here in the front. Next, now that you have your podcaster turned into a baby in that image, we now need to create the talking baby video. And to do that, we need to come over to this tool, which we're seeing on screen, Hedra. You see the logo up here top left, and you can actually use this a few times completely for free when you first get set up on it. So what we need to do here is first we need to add the baby image that we just created by clicking this button here. So we'll just click this, and you can see there that I've just uploaded that image. And what Hedra is going to do is it's going to take this image we've added to it and turn it into a video. And to do that, it's going to use the audio from that podcast moment that we've decided to use. So we actually need to add the audio from that clip by clicking this button here and uploading the audio. You'll see here we can upload audio there. But you might remember that when we downloaded the podcast moment from Ocusclip that we wanted to use for this effect, we didn't download just the audio. We have the audio currently within the video. But in Hedra, we just need the audio from that downloaded video. We don't need the full video. So here's how we quickly get the audio from the video you downloaded. You just need to quickly head over to Google and to search for video to MP3 converter. You'll see it comes up there. And you can use most of these sites to get the audio from that video clip you have. But let's just click on this top website, for example. And you just use any website like this by uploading the downloaded podcast moment from your computer into the website. And the website will process that video and then give you a downloadable MP3 file that has just the audio from that video clip. Once you've downloaded that, just come back to Hedra and upload the audio file by using this button here. You can leave all of these Hedra settings here as the default, except for changing from a wide video to a tall video if you're making a tall video instead, but I'm making a wide video, so I'll keep this one chosen. And finally, you just want to type some guidance in here that Hedra can use when it's creating your video. So I'm going to type in a baby boy talking just to be really clear to Hedra about the video it's generating for me. Then we just press this button here to generate the video, and Hedra will take just a few minutes to turn this image that we've uploaded here into our talking baby video based on the audio that we've uploaded here. So let's press this button now. Great. And after 3 minutes, we got this video. Let's give it a watch now.
Well, that sounds like a fun thing to just drive around and go to people's restaurants and see how they do things and see the history behind it and what was their dream.
Awesome. The process is only this easy for clips of a single person speaking. If you've got clips with multiple speakers, it's more complicated. You're going to have to create multiple images, one for each speaker, create multiple videos in Hedra, and then edit them together using some separate software like Premiere or CapCut. It gets a lot more difficult, but this is super simple for those clippable moments of just a single speaker. Here's another video that Dan made recently of how to turn your podcast moments into Studio Ghibli style videos. So make sure to watch that next if that interests you, and I'll see you soon